that she cared only about what she was wearing, how her hair looked, about making Rafael look good by being as sexy and glamorous as she could make herself. She was definitely interested in that last part. Making Rafael look good in the eyes of others always put him in an expansive mood, a generous mood. Drea studied the platinum and diamond anklet that circled her right ankle, enjoying the way the dangling diamond glittered in the sunlight, the way the platinum glowed against her tanned skin. The anklet had been one of Rafael's gifts when he'd been very happy about something. She hoped his pleasure with the assassin's success put him in an equally generous mood. She wouldn't mind a matching bracelet, not that she ever hinted. She was always very careful not to ask Rafael for anything, and to ooh and ah over everything he gave her, even if it was butt ugly, because even butt ugly crap could be sold. She had no illusions about the permanency of her position in Rafael's life. Right now she was at the top of her game, mature enough to be womanly, young enough that she didn't have to worry about gray hair or wrinkles. But in another year or two, who knew? Eventually Rafael would tire of her, and when he did, she wanted to have built up a nice little nest egg for herself, mostly in the form of jewelry. Drea Rousseau knew what it was to be poor, and she intended never to be poor again. She had severed all ties with the girl she'd been growing up, white trash Andy Butts, the target of malicious jokes because of her name as much as anything else, and made herself over into Andrea, pronounced that way, which sounded French to her, Rousseau, to go with the fancier pronunciation. "Her," said the assassin. "I want her." Her interest caught. Who was her? Drea looked up, and the bottom dropped out of her stomach. The assassin was staring at her with the same cold, unblinking gaze she remembered. Shock slammed into her like a tidal wave. She was the her he was talking about. There were no other women in the room, no one else he could possibly mean. Icy fingers of sheer panic laced around her spine, but then common sense reasserted itself and she relaxed. Thank God Rafael was a possessive man. He would never— "Ask for something else," Rafael said lazily, looping his arm around her shoulders and snuggling her close to his side. "I couldn't give away my good luck piece." He pressed a kiss to her forehead, and Drea beamed up at him, almost limp with relief, though she tried not to reveal that, for a moment, she'd been scared almost senseless. "I don't want to keep her," the assassin said dismissively without looking away from Drea's face. "I just want to fuck her. One time." Reassured by Rafael's immediate rejection of the request, confident once more, Drea laughed. She had a sweet laugh, as harmonious as the chiming of bells. Rafael had once told her she reminded him of an angel, with her long, curly blonde hair, big blue eyes, and her bell-like laugh. She used the laugh as deliberately as if it were a weapon, reminding Rafael without words that she was indeed his angel, his good luck. At the sound, the assassin's entire body seemed to tense, his attention so tightly focused on her she could almost feel the touch of it on her skin. Until then, if she'd thought about it much, Drea would have said he was already alert, but now he was somehow more so, as if all his senses were heightened, his focus so intensified she felt the burn of it on her skin, and her laughter choked off as abruptly as if his hand had closed around her throat. "I don't share," Rafael said, an irritated note underlying the ease of his tone. The top man never shared his woman. If he did, then he lost an edge, an important one, in the authority he had over his men. Surely the assassin knew that. But they were alone in the penthouse apartment, with no witnesses to what Rafael did or didn't do. So maybe that was why he thought he could have what he wanted. Again the assassin said nothing, merely watching, and though he didn't move, there was abruptly something lethal stewing in the atmosphere between them. Curled against him as she was, Drea felt Rafael's almost imperceptible twitch, as if he, too,